They're sexually violent criminals who were convicted, locked up, and released. Dangerous predators who the state believes are still a threat to your family.
Now 7 News investigative reporter Gordon Dill has uncovered new details of a state plan to hand rapists, pedophiles, and dangerous sex criminals over to a for-profit company as part of a program that the state admits simply does not work. Gordon.
Right now, there are about 200 of these predators locked up at a maximum security prison in Colombia. Now we've learned the state is soliciting bids that would privatize the sexually violent predator program. The state even suggested 5 possible locations for these dangerous criminals, including one in our own backyard. He's a repeat offender in trouble again. Phil Simoneau, busted in 1991, convicted of a lewd act on a minor, convicted again for assaulting a child. Court records show he told a deputy he was compulsive, and now he's in trouble again, a candidate for a little-known state program for sexually violent predators. In South Carolina, sex offenders who have already served their time but keep getting in trouble and might still pose a threat to the public often end up in a program run by the Department of Mental Health. They're not prisoners, they're not patients, they're residents. And now the agency that runs that program says it's so expensive and so crowded, they want to wash their hands of the whole thing. Since 1998, the Department of Mental Health has treated more than 200 predators at the maximum security Broad River Prison. Another 20 or so move in each year. Some of the first residents ever committed here are still locked up. About 1 in 20 has died in custody. Mark Binkley is Deputy Director at the Department of Mental Health.
The main purpose of the program is to deal with their history of sexual offending and their generally sexually deviant interests.
But residents here have to want to get better. As Binkley puts it, there's no pill for pedophilia, and there is a spotty record of success. Of those who were released from state custody, some committed new sex crimes. Does this program work?
You know, you almost have to take it on a case-by-case basis.
Meanwhile, the cost of the program is soaring. A predator committed to Broad River costs taxpayers more than $70,000 a year, in part because of the required treatment cost. A prison inmate locked up in the same facility costs less than $20,000. And the state's newest plan would be even more expensive. Right now, Binkley is negotiating with private bidders who would run the sexually violent predator program for profit. The state's request for proposals designated 5 potential sites, including this one in Spartanburg County. And while the state negotiates with that private contractor, their identity remains a secret, meaning no one knows who would secure what the DMH calls the worst of the worst. As for Phil Simoneau, he's still waiting for a psychological evaluation. One of his victims, Rebecca Shea, is still angry that Simoneau got probation for assaulting her.
If you allow yourself to think about it too much, you could literally drive yourself crazy, you know, just with the anger.
If a judge sends Simoneau to the Department of Mental Health, the state can't say exactly where he'd end up. Mark Binkley with the Department of Mental Health now tells us that current negotiations would not use the Spartanburg location in the state's proposal, but he would not say where the new facility would be built. We did reach out to Phil Simoneau for this story. He has not returned our calls.